Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me. It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I think all of us can finish that sentence like Mad Libs, actually. Of course you remember that viral moment from last year's Oscar. Comedian Chris Rock certainly did not forget, and he is now finally responding to the so-called slap heard round the world in his newest Netflix special. Last year's award ceremony, actor Will Smith walking up on that stage, smacking Rock in the face over a joke at his wife's Jada's expense. Now, he has since apologized repeatedly for that assault, but now finally Rock addressing it all in his newly released Netflix special called Selective Outrage. In the last few minutes of the show, Rock says that he wasn't a victim, instead implying Smith's behavior was out of embarrassment for his wife's publicly known affair. Take a listen.
I love Will Smith. My whole life I loved this. I saw him open up for Run DMC at the Nassau Coliseum. And now I watch Emancipation just to see him get whooped. And a lot of people go, Chris, how come you didn't do nothing back? How come you didn't do nothing back that night? Because I got parents. That's why. Because I was raised. Okay? I got parents. And you know what my parents taught me? Don't fight in front of white people.
All right, Nikki and Nichelle here, joining us live in studio to weigh in. Entertainment, celebrity, pop culture commentator, thank you for being here. This is all I'm hearing people talk about this weekend. What is so shocking about this?
I think a lot of things. First of all, the reference to emancipation and him being beat. And I really feel like now this has gone a little way divisive than what I had expected it from a slap. I thought, okay, they'll make up and we'll move on and it'll be done and finished. And Will has, I mean, gotten a lot of scrutiny and, you know, consequences for his actions. And what's so surprising to me is not only is it like you either loved Chris Rock's stand-up or you hated it, but I also believe that it's gone into a political area that really doesn't need to be there. So I find it very interesting, some of the things that Chris Rock touched on in his stand-up. And you know, I was looking online and a lot of people had a lot of heated words.
Yeah, how is this being received? What is the optically, what is the chatter online about all of this?
So, like I said, social commentary, you either love it or you hate it. A lot of people, I just saw Lonnie Love, she's a, you know, fellow comedian, and she tweeted about how, you know, being non-white, you're not gonna understand the sexism and the racism that was in that actual stand-up and how it affects you as a Black woman. And I completely 100% agree with that. I feel like there's, you know, emotional ramifications and things that some people don't understand. And when you are constantly being the brunt of jokes and not taking seriously how other ramifications can make the world view Black women a certain way.
I absolutely hear you. And I mean, I think all of us can understand why Chris Rock is talking about this now. I mean, the timing, a little suspect. He wants his special to do really well. He's held back this whole time. Now he's finally talking about it. We're talking about it, sure. Is this playing the way that Chris Rock wanted it to?
You know, I go back and forth with that because, I mean, at the end of the day, if you need to sell tickets and make your money, do you? You know, I can't really weigh in on how someone decides to release their trauma, right? Everybody experiences trauma in certain ways, but I think that there are moments where people are like, look, enough. We've talked about it for a whole year. Let's let it die. I do think that his vitriol towards Jada is way overboard, and she didn't slap you, you know, Will did. And, you know, I do notice that he kind of probably needs a little bit of healing, but I am, you know, again, not one to talk on that because I don't know if you noticed, but he also cried at a certain point in the stand-up, and it seemed to still be hurting for him.
Yeah. All right, Nikki and Nichelle, I appreciate you weighing in and I appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.